reconditioning kit. It has everything you need to polish granite. This is a professional reconditioning kit. We also sell the at Stone Care EDU. We sell a kit for homeowners. There's just a couple of small changes to the kit, really to make sure that you can homeowners can maximize their experience. One of them being the drill attachment. This drill attachment is in the homeowner kit. It allows you to use the MB20, which we'll be talking about later, and really get good results with it. Now, I don't, we're not going to really show that side of the kit today, but we're going to be using the Makita. This really more of like a professional kit, like I said, but you can find the homeowner kit, a video to the homeowner kit at stonecareedu.com. In fact, here's an example of it. I'm actually on the Stone Care EDU YouTube channel, and does talk about, you can see that that it does show the kit. It's a little bit different than the kit that we have here, because that kit, that video was shot prior to COVID, using Easy Stone Care products, and Easy Stone Care has since become part of MB Stone Care. Cameron DeMille is working on the other side of the country now, and doing a great job training, hands-on training, and working with Stu Rosen over at MB. So we're mainly going to be talking, like I said, about the professional side, but there is a homeowner video, and that homeowner video does use the same basic products, and but the kit itself, when you buy it, you can use the video with the products and really get good results. So let's go ahead and talk about, real quick, I want to talk about Easy Stone Care real quick. I'm sorry, not Easy Stone Care, but how MB's been working with the Sureshine service network to make it easy for homeowners to find MB certified professionals. Now, an MB certified professional is somebody that's been through hands-on training and has really kind of gotten a proficiency in stone restoration, all aspects of stone restoration. And we're talking about granite polishing here today, but we're also, MB certified professionals can repair granite, repair marble, refinish and polish marble, countertops, showers, floors. They've gone through the evaluation, the online video evaluations, as well as asked tons of questions and taken the hands-on class. So please don't when you are looking for an MB certified pro, you can go to the website, the MB website. You can also come to Sureshine Service Network and hit the services button. That's that little area up in the top corner here, and it says it's MB certified pros already highlighted here because we're on that page. And your city, the city that's closest to you is most likely going to be populated automatically, and that just all you have to do is hit search, and the search is going to yield MB certified pros within 100 miles of you, which is great because you have your choices there. Everybody there in this list is terrific. You're going to get very good results from each person, and you can just make your choice from there. So I highly recommend MB certified professionals. Just personally, I know I'm one. I also trained at Easy Stone Care. I was a trainer and still am, and I do their online training. So a lot of these contractors that go through the hands-on training also take the online training, because they can remember things in the field. You take a 4 or 5 day hands-on class, and there's so much packed in there. Well, with the online training, they can look at a 7-minute video just to remind them, oh yeah, you know, on this stone I'm going to use this material. It's just a lot easier that way. So I highly recommend an MB certified pro, and so I'm gonna kind of leave it at that, and let's get started with the unpacking and unboxing of the Easy Stone Care Granite Reconditioning Kit. So the Granite Reconditioning Kit comes in this bucket. It doesn't come with the Makita. or a polisher, so you're going to need a polisher obviously, and you're going to need a polisher with a 5-inch backer. So let's just talk about some of the things you're going to need before we unbox this. What I'm going to recommend is a scraper, and I like to use this scraper here. It's very inexpensive at Home Depot. I think it costs like $3. And you can put these blades, I actually used this blade yesterday and it's already rusting. So you can slide these blades out and they're super sharp, and just pop it in like this and kind of push it down and you have a blade. Now what do we use blades for? We use blades to remove stuck on grease and stuck on film from the countertop. That's the first thing you want to do when you're polishing a countertop, is remove what's on the surface. Now we do it in two ways. We do it with physical methods like the scraper, and we do it with abrasives, mild abrasives, with the product in here called Easy Scrub. In fact, let's talk about what's unboxed too. Just to remind you as well, you're going to need a couple of towels, and those towels are going to be typically, I like microfiber, but you can use any towels you want. A lot of people like the terry cloth. It just depends on what's available. So this scraper is great to use, and then you could also just use regular single edge razor blades. And when you use a single edge razor blade or a scraper, you always want to watch out for the crystal in the stone. This stone actually is pretty smooth. It's been, refinished a few times and polished a few times, but if there's crystals on the surface, your blade is actually going to hit on them, and you can break the mineral off the surface and then create a little pit. Those pitting is something that you can fill, but it's best not to have to fill it. So the best thing to do would be to just run your hand. If you have a textured counter, run your hand across it and make sure as you scrape. And then if it does get caught, if you feel roughness, just go around it, because you can remove any grit that's on the surface. When we're talking about when we're using a blade, this is a stuck on stuff like jelly and oils that are like bacon grease, just stuff that's on the surface that you want to remove before you can get the polish to actually act on the stone. The polish is going to act only on the stone and nothing else. I don't know if many of you have tried to polish granite before on a dirty surface, but that surface can the impurities on the surface can really affect the quality of your finished result. Now, what does come in the box, I just unboxed it for you, is microfiber pads. These are for your finish pads. You want to set these aside initially, and then a couple of, I think 5 each of these hog's hair pads, and 5 each of the white pads. Now, this is a preference thing, one or the other. I prefer white pads on pretty much everything. When I use the hog's hair pads, typically with the scrubbing action, like when I'm using stone scrub or something like that, I'll use the hog's hair pad. What else comes? Let's see, we got cleaner. That's Stone and More. It used to be called MB5. Easy Scrub. This is your abrasive cleaner. That's what's going to get rid of all the other the microscopic and minute impurities that you might not be able to remove with the scraper. Sealer. This MB Barrier. It's a water-based impregnator. Terrific sealer against oil stains and pretty much all other impurities. A lot of applicators, a lot of contractors across the country using MB Barrier. I think this used to be called MB24. Yep, it's MB24. There's a number here at the bottom of all these labels, and so if you're old, kind of like old school contractor, familiar with the old MB numbers, they're still on the labels. And Ultimate. Now this was a This was a continuation from the Easy Stone Care product. The Ultimate is a like a siliconized polish protector. It's a terrific product. It's my favorite product to put on as a finishing product for granite. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is set these products aside, obviously, and we're going to use Easy Scrub. We're going to use Easy Scrub after we scrape the countertop. Now, I scraped all this countertop earlier to make sure that we were all set. So the Easy Scrub is ready to use. Now, like I said earlier, with the Easy Scrub, I like to use a hog's hair pad, and because the hog's hair pad. Let me talk a little bit about the difference between a white pad and a hog's hair pad. A lot of people think the hog's hair pad provides more friction, but actually the smoother surface, the surface that has more contact points is going to provide more friction, but a lot of times it's softer. It's a softer surface. Like when you're polishing granite, actually polishing granite with polishing powders like potatoes and things like that, a lot of people use felt because felt is super smooth and it has a ton of contact surface with the granite. They use that to generate heat. So the white pad is going to generate heat through friction. The hog's hair pad is slightly more abrasive because there's more air in it, and you can feel it's rougher. This pad is going to give you more of a scrubbing action. So what I do is I like to use with the Easy Scrub, I like to use the hog's hair pad, and then what I do is I switch to the white pad for a lot of other things. But the cool thing about this kit is these 5 pads will last you 15 jobs. You know, you're going to get a lot of jobs out of it. And, one thing that I didn't mention that does come in the kit, it's one of the most important things, is MB20. My kit actually that I received did not include the MB20. MB20 was on back order at the time. But I buy MB20 in large containers. This is a large container of MB20. This does not come in the kit. It's smaller. It's about a quarter of this size, but it's enough to do 15 countertops, maybe more. You know, it all depends on how much you use and how large the kitchens are. So MB20 is another great product, and it's part of I got gardeners outside, sorry. Great product and part of the MB Stone Care line, and it's going to give you, it's the flagship, really, the gold standard for granite polishing in the industry. As a homeowner, you're going to use this as well with under a white pad with your drill kit as well. So let's we have our hog's hair pad. We have our hog's hair pad here. We have Easy Scrub, right? Now, Easy Scrub can be a little messy. What we like to do is we like to tape. Now, I'm only going to demonstrate this taping method. You can use other taping methods. A lot of people like to put tape around the cabinets to protect the cabinets, and then canvas on the floor. What I like to do is I just like to catch the splatter in a like a tape dam. And I got this 3-inch tape. It's 3-inch duct tape from it's literally duct tape. I don't know if you can see the ducks in there, but I got it from Ace Hardware. So if you have a local Ace Hardware, you can also probably get this 3-inch tape online. It's a lot easier you can do it with the 2-inch. I mean, we use 2-inch for everything as well, but the 3-inch is just going to give you a higher finish, higher barrier, and you're not going to have to build the 2-inch tape up much. So this will also protect you from, splatter on your clothing and things like that. You know, so basically, you know, what we typically will do is we'll kind of go around the counter like that. I mean, it does use tape, more tape, but there's a trade-off here. You know, tape, plastic. You know, what's the difference in terms of the amount that you use? Well, you can use one roll of tape, and if you mask the entire kitchen with the 4-foot plastic to protect the cabinets, that's definitely something that you should do. You should be cognizant of the cabinets, but as a contractor, you're using a lot of material, and so your costs are a lot higher when it comes to that. So you have to charge more. A lot of homeowners don't know what kind of goes into protecting all these surfaces, and so the charging of more for that material can sometimes price you out of the job. So this process here is super easy, and it really does catch everything. Now when you do, it's important though, when you're cleaning this, that you don't just pick the thing up off the counter while it's still running. You got to stop it down here. You got to stop it so that you're not. You stop it down here, okay, and then pick it up. And what that does is, you can stop it anywhere really, but on the surface, and then pick it up. When professionals are grinding and polishing granite, they're usually using a small diameter diamond, and you pick the diamond off the surface before you remove, or before you turn the machine off. But the small diameter is actually not throwing water everywhere. It's also, diamonds are not absorbent. So the absorbent material of this pad, if you pick it up and while it's still spinning, it's going to throw stuff everywhere, backsplash, windows, everything. So if you are a messy worker, you got to mask everything. You know, just my suggestion. Okay, so let's start with the easy scrub. We're gonna do small areas at a time. Typically on a countertop like this, it's about 4 feet wide, about 40 inches. I'm gonna split something like this maybe in half. You could actually do the whole thing. If this is an island and it's, you know, another few feet or 2 feet, you can do a huge area with the easy scrub. The trick with the easy scrub is you want to keep it wet. You're not polishing this until it's dry. The easy scrub actually comes with a foil. I took it off a foil thing, so you just take it off, and then what we're going to do is we're going to apply a small amount, and then we're going to use a little bit more than that. But you want to kind of mix it around a little bit. Sometimes I'll just mix it like this, you know, so you need a little bit more. Okay, and we're going to start it slow. Whenever you're next to the edge, just work it slow. You can trigger your Makita so that it's not at full speed. And it really depends on how dirty is your countertop. Keep this wet like this. It might be, you can kind of see how much is on the surface, that upper angle. I'm moving it around. See, I'm using the rotation of the machine, and I move the machine in a clockwise manner. I'm using the rotation of the machine to keep it on the surface. You can also hear the scrubbing action happening. Now you don't want to go too crazy with it. This material, this granite's actually pretty soft. Some granite is super soft, so you don't want to go crazy with it. We're not actually trying to scrub the granite itself. We're trying to scrub the materials that are on the granite off the granite. So don't think that you're like seriously grinding the surface. Now some granites need it, and there's other ways to get the shine out. You know, you might need to start with diamonds on some areas. It's like around a sink on a very soft granite. You can see this is the area that I did, this line here. We're getting a little bit of a sheen out, and not much, because there's still a lot of polishing to do, or you know, to get the shine back here. But you can see that this granite is absorbing material. It's absorbing, it's darkening here. This is a porous, very porous piece of granite. So when we seal it, we have to be cognizant of that. So pay attention when you're polishing to the amount of darkening on the granite. It's super important to know how much sealer you're gonna want to. When you seal, we're gonna want to seal to rejection. With regard to those diamonds, you might use something like this. This is a 3000 diamond. It's a can't see it very well, huh? It's a there you go. It's a what we call a honeycomb, and this is a 3000 grit diamond, and they come 50 to 3000. You might use around a sink, you might use 1500 and 3000 to get that smoothness back. And sometimes you can even use 800. Then you're not going to damage the surface. So as a contractor, you want to, like, you know, sometimes the MB20 can, it's going to polish the surface, but if the surface has texture, because like pitting and from the water for years of use, the pitting can happen around the sinks, pitting can happen around anywhere where there's tons of water being used. I typically like to run 800, 1500, and 3000. It takes 20 minutes extra, and what that does is, and I'll show that in a video later on, but what that does is it smooths the surface and allows the MB20 to really polish the surface, like, because the MB20 is not a coating, it's an actual polishing of the surface, you know. So everything you get in this kit is going to provide you a long-lasting polished finish. Okay, so let's show you on this side here. We're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to go to this angle so you can see how much material we're just work it around. Now, like I said, it doesn't need much. So when you feel like you've gotten everything off the surface, you just stop. Just stop. Less is more with the stone scrub on granite. You can't affect the finish, and you can require a light refinishing sometimes. I've seen it on a few stones, a few granites. Okay. So we've fully removed the stone scrub. Now let's just clean it. Put the stone scrub aside. We're going to clean it now with the neutral cleaner. This is stone and more. We're going to pull this off. Remember that we used the hog's hair pad with stone scrub. Pretty much only we used the hog's hair pad with stone scrub. And we're going to put a white pad on the surface. We're going to get ready to polish. But first, we're going to clean it. And the cleaning is just to remove all the grit and all the residues that we've left behind with the stone scrub. I'm sorry, the easy scrub. Keep saying stone scrub. There is a competing product called stone scrub that some people use, but this kit comes with the product that we developed at Easy Stone Care, and we really like it, so I recommend the Easy Scrub on everything. So you can see that we have just, you know, some residues that on the surface that we got to remove. Okay. Now, so now we're sailing along. We have so that's the clean thoroughly multi-surface cleaner. You can also use Easy Oxy. MB with a hogs hair or a white pad. I already kind of explained what I like about the MB products with the white pad. I use white pads with MB20. A lot of people like the hogs hair. Now the difference between the white pad and the hogs hair pad is that the white pad is going to generate more heat. That's also a drawback, because the hogs hair pad is going to allow you more time to polish the surface. I tend to like the white pad because I can polish at a lower speed, and it keeps the surface wet, and it gets me my shine. Now with the MB20, you're polishing until it's dry. You're fully removing the streaking. You're going to see the difference. Like, we're going to see a line here. I'm going to polish this half of the countertop, because I can show you this this angle, and we can see here that we have like right there. That's a reflection of one of the lights up above me, and so you're going to be able to see that reflection materialize in the surface and really give us a nice pretty finish. There's another one, right? Where is it? Right there. Anyways, I'm going to polish this, so you're going to see the difference, and then what I'll do is I'll polish over here as well. So we'll blend everything in. Now I'm going to try to keep this this recording, this live stream, under an hour. We're at about 26 minutes now. So I apologize for if I'm rambling, but I want to make sure that we fully cover the use of this kit. The next two steps, after the MB20 are key. We got the sealer, and then we got the ultimate. Both of those aren't going to take that long. The sealer would normally take longer, and I'm going to explain why it's not going to take that long once we get to it, in terms of some of the changes that, not changes, but adjustments I have to make in lieu of time. So this is MB20. I've already kind of mixed it up, but when you receive it, it's kind of smooth. You just want to kind of give it a little bit of a mix. Now your container is going to be smaller than this, which is fine, and the amount of material might be about that deep. Just mix it thoroughly to make sure. And each time I open the container, I mix it, just because things can settle. Now I don't normally use these scoops because it's kind of hard to get the MB20 out, but we'll use, what I do is I use about a tablespoon on the surface. Okay. And I'm going to put the MB20 on the outside of the pad here, not the inside. Now if it's right in the center, the only area that's doing work is right here. If I put it on the outside, I get work being done on the entire 5-inch piece. The 5-inch, a lot of people also like to use the 7-inch. Now the difference between the 5 and the 7, obviously besides the diameter, is that the outside radius of the 7-inch pad is much longer, the circumference, and the reason, and what happens is, since the RPMs are the same, that circumference, that outside radius, is actually spinning at a faster rate. So what you do is you actually, not spinning at a faster rate, but moving the linear velocity of that outside radius, the outside portion of the 7-inch pad is moving at a faster rate than this area that 5-inch pad is. So when you use a 7-inch pad at the same rotation, same 600 RPMs, that outside radius is moving faster, you're going to throw material everywhere. And that's what happens. Like, the minute you start the pad with the 7-inch, you'll see material being thrown out, and you don't really want that. You want it underneath your pad. So I'm going to put it like on the side there, and I'm going to start the Makitas at 1. And if you're using a drill, you're just going to start low. Like I'll just show this real quick. The drill here, I don't have any MB20 underneath this, but you'll just trigger it up like this. You don't want to just start fast. You want to just trigger it up and do a large area. Okay? So let's get going with the MB20. You can see right there, we got the streaking occurring right here. And I'm going to split this in half and do small areas at a time. Sometimes you can do larger areas. It really depends on how much polishing you have to do. So I'm keeping it wet, and I'm just working it until it starts to dry out. It takes a while, so you've got to be patient. It's really tempting just to zap the speed up and burn the polish in, but you get a much better finish if you just be patient with the product. Alright, so it's starting to dry out, so I'm going to increase the speed a little. So that's the first go around with the MB20. You can see a difference between the. It's actually kind of hard, but you're going to see a lot more clarity. I have to do this again. We're getting a nice polish, but some of the quartz minerals in this aren't polishing as fast. Some of the other softer minerals polish a little bit. Some of the harder minerals polish a little bit slower than others. but what we'll do is we'll polish it one more time, and I think we're going to get a nice finish out of it. I actually use diamonds to knock this this surface down. Typically in a home situation, you're going to need to polish maybe one time, maybe two times tops. Sometimes around the sink you might need to polish a little bit more, but you really typically you can polish it until you stop seeing a shine, but I think typically 2 times is going to be plenty. So let's do this one more time. I have MB20 right there on the surface, and I'm gonna spread out and use a larger area. Do a larger area now. All right, so we're almost there. You can see the finish there is greatly increased. We are looking like, I think I have to change the battery on one of my cameras real quick. We're looking good. I want to polish this other edge again. I want to polish this edge again so you can see it at a lower angle. So that's why I want to make sure this camera's working. Right. So you can see like the haziness here, right? This is where I haven't polished yet. About right there. This is where I've polished. So I'm going to do over here a little bit now so you can kind of see the angle. And we're also, you know, I don't know if you noticed before, but we didn't have much of a shine on this before. Now, this is very shiny from looking down at it and looking from an angle, but still not, I don't have the depth from looking, that I need looking down at it. Also, we have we're getting, our pad here is starting to get loaded up. You can kind of see it in this. You can see that right here. It's actually, it's funny because even though we're putting it on the outside, the center really does load up. That's okay. Let the pad load up and it'll give you a better finish over time. Eventually, when you just need to pop a shine, just a little bit of a shine, you'll be able to you'll be able to just simply use, sorry, the pad with like a squirt bottle, which is pretty cool. So keep those pads. Don't let them go. See, the longer it takes to polish, in many cases, the better the finish. So I always tell my technicians, it's the quality that matters. That's all that matters. It's the only thing that matters. Now we want to speed up our quality. So, obviously, we want to make sure that we can achieve the finishes that we want at a profitable way, but we never sacrifice profit for quality or time for quality. We are ready to bump up the RPMs. All right, so you can really see the difference here. This is a beautiful finish. You can really see over here, you've got this hazy shine. This is beautiful polish. I'm gonna take this off here, just to give you an idea. Now I have a light. See that it's kind of like diffused, and you can see you can't really see it, it's too bright. There's the shine right there. See the reflection? It's hard. It's just a diffused reflection over here, but and then from above you can see this side and this side. It's almost like we're this haziness here to a polish. So I'm gonna polish this other area real quick, and then we will go to sealer. Okay, starting to haze up. So we have some MB20 built up in the pad. I'm just going to use a little bit of the neutral cleaner, and then I want to buff it again. Okay. Now the reason why I did that was I needed a little bit more polish from the countertop, and I had enough MB20 built up into the pad that you could almost see it, like it's kind of in the way there, but get rid of that. It's no longer like super. You can't see the grit. It's all smooth, and what that does is the compound is going to give us a little bit more shine here. So took care of that. The MB20, we have a beautiful finish. There's still, like right here. There's a little bit of that's so we can buff that. That nice and smooth. All right, now we're going to clean it. You want to clean it? We want to get rid of the residues from the MB20, and we're going to seal. Sealer is sealer's penetrating sealer, so you want to make sure sealer penetrates into the pores, and you don't want to make sure that there's nothing blocking those pores. And the Stone and More neutral cleaner is great for that. You just basically, you're just removing the residues. You don't have to go crazy with scrubbing. I do sometimes take a new hog's hair and just make sure that everything is just loosened up everywhere. It also gives you an opportunity to scrub underneath the bull noses. You'd be surprised how much stuff from homeowners, food and things like that is underneath the bull nose. So, and you don't want to touch it. It's best just to use a degreaser or a neutral cleaner and a scrub pad like the hog's hair or something like that. I've actually not been able to remove that stuff with a white pad, so it does help to have something that's a little bit more aggressive. All right, so beautifully polished granite countertop. I don't know if you remember how badly that looked prior to this. This area was almost no shine. You could barely see the lights in the countertop, and now the whole thing is a beautiful finish. We have it cleaned off. Now we have it cleaned, so we're going to use the barrier MB24 barrier. It's a water-based sealer. Now, one thing about water-based sealers is when you pour a water-based sealer or any sealer on the surface, you're gonna it is not gonna penetrate all the way. Okay. You might see some bubbles here. I think you can see them right there. There's one there. Now, the bubbles indicate that there's air. There's air in the stone. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I needed to grab a glove. There's air in the stone, and the air needs to be displaced. And how do we displace it? You use a non-absorbent. You use a non-absorbent applicator, whatever it is. Some people use a paint pad. Some people use a white pad. I like the white pad because I have tons of white pads. All these boxes back here, these are pads of different types of pads. But we have tons of white pads, and we actually cut our own 5-inch pads. And the material around the 5-inch pad it doesn't go to waste for us. We use it for applicators, for sealer, and other things. I also use it for the Ultimate, and you'll see in a second. So what I'll do is I'll pour the material on the surface, not a lot, just enough to spread it out. Now, probably gonna need more. Now I spread it out with a white pad because the white pad, like, it's not a towel, so it doesn't absorb sealer. You can see the material. I don't know if you can really see it, but in from my point of view, the granite is darkening. Now the darkening is obviously the absorption of some of the water, but it's also just because there's water spread out over the surface, and it's preventing it's darkening the surface. That's the effect, but that's what you want. When you apply it with a towel, your towel is absorbing most of the sealer. I mean, I don't have an exact amount or exact number, but so that's enough sealer for this surface. Now that's enough sealer for this surface, and I still have like this much left. So this is a nice size counter. Your whole kitchen, you're going to use maybe half of this or less. So then you put this in a dark place with a sealed up container. Sometimes I'll put plastic over this, or recommend a homeowner put plastic and then screw the container on. And this should last you a year or two. And when you decide to do this polishing process again as a homeowner, you can come back to it. As a contractor, you're probably going to use sealer, that sealer in any application, because it'll seal granite, it'll seal marble, it's a great sealer for a lot of surfaces. Okay, so I like to just keep it moving. I like keep it wet, and I do that for 15 minutes. I know we don't have 15 minutes. I'm not gonna make you guys look at water on a granite countertop for 15 minutes. But 15, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time you allow, you want to make sure that you're sealing the countertop to rejection. So if you seal it, you know, and you wait 15 minutes, you come back and you can get more granite into the surface. I'm sorry, more sealer into the granite surface or into any surface that you're sealing, then you should do it. Okay. So some of the oil-based sealers and some of the petroleum-based sealers, you got to watch out for darkening. You got to watch out for streaking. So just keep an eye on that. And I'd always recommend doing a test area on. Doing a test area on granite with a water-based sealer, it's usually not necessary, but if you're ever worried or if you're ever concerned, do a test area. Okay, so we're not going to let this sit for 15 minutes. We're going to remove it completely right now, and we do that after it's sat. We just do that with a rag and fully wipe it like this. Now the next step, you can still see streaks there, right? The next step is the ultimate, and the ultimate will take out the streaks. So if you were, this is a great product. It's one of the best things, best products for stone I've ever seen. If you were to leave the streaking on the surface for a while, and even if it was to dry, the ultimate would remove it. Okay. Now I'm talking about MB24, the barrier. I'm talking about other water-based sealers. Other solvents, maybe not. So, I say maybe not because most of the time it's true. You can remove any surface streaking on polished granite with the ultimate or a comparable product. But this is, like I said, my favorite product when it comes to granite. Okay, so we have, like I said, we have a little bit of streaking. It's almost gone. You can kind of hear it's a little bit sticky, you know, it's like giving me a little grip. It's very clean, it's very polished. We have still a little bit wet over here. Let me just remove that. Okay, now the ultimate says polish protector. It's like a polish for the surface, and I apply it exactly like I apply sealer. I think that if it penetrates into the surface and it gives me a you get full coverage out of it, I think the effect that you get from the ultimate will last longer. Typically we tell customers, you know, you can use the ultimate twice a month. You can use it as much as you want. It does build up a little bit if you use it too much. But I like to apply it like a sealer so you don't have to. Like your countertops are going to feel, not just look amazing, but feel amazing after the ultimate is applied. Okay, contractors, when you apply this, you can slide the ultimate. You can slide the ultimate across the countertop without that happening. It will literally go all the way across the countertop without falling over. And we're going to do that in a few minutes. But okay, so let me show you. I mean, I like to liberally apply it. It's not like a. It'll go a long way. Kind of, it's, you know, as far as like polishes go, it's kind of an expensive product. So applying it like this will give you a little bit of longevity with it, because you're not gonna be putting the polish into your towels. You spread it out, and you're gonna start to see like little bits of beading on the surface. Can't really see it from there because the lighting is weird, but you're gonna see little bits of beading on the surface. You see it there? No. You can kind of see it here. And what that is just the ultimate kind of like separating, it's like repelling itself, I think. Now I don't really know what's happening. I think the ultimate is very close to sealer as well. Now I do have ultimate on the surface of this pad, but I've successfully spread it out to where it's almost dry and it has this kind of oily feel. Now there's two ways to do this. In a home you're going to use your towel. You know, homeowners aren't going to get their drills out every time they want to polish their countertops. So, but you can use the white pad to spread it out, and then use a towel to wipe it off. And then contractors are going to use the blue microfiber pad that's in the kit. Now, homeowners are going to get a different kit, so you're not going to have the same. You're not going to need all these pads and stuff. So you will get something that can buff that can buff the counters with a drill, though. You'll get one of these. You can buff these counters with a drill. But you can also just simply use a rag. You can also just simply use a rag. The contractors, when you get this kit, you'll probably want to put your 7-inch backer on, but you can also just use your 5-inch. Turn it down low and buff it in. Turn it up. So this counter now is perfectly polished. It's sealed with high quality impregnating sealer, and it's super smooth. Super smooth. So it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to, I mean, you saw earlier how this thing was just sliding across and falling. It's not gonna fall. It has there's no resistance anywhere. This will go all the way across the counter. You know, so if you're so inclined, I'd really appreciate you subscribing. I know I'm asking late in the video. If you have any questions about this kit, you can call me, or you can post them in the comments. There's going to be a link to the kit down in the comments, or down in the description. There's also going to be a link to the homeowner kit in the description. So I should have said all that up front, because I'm sure not everybody's going to get all the way to the 1 hour mark when it comes to polishing. You can, but I will be. I'll have to like put some chapters in this video to skip around so everybody can find what we're doing here. So again, if you are looking for a contractor in the United States or Canada for stone restoration, find them at the Sureshine Service Network. We have some of the best affiliates all around the country. They are listed under all the different badges that they want to promote. But you can find some great people, and if you're in an area that's not currently covered by a Sureshine Service Network contractor or pro, just put in your information, and I guarantee that I know somebody, or the folks at MB know somebody that can help you. Okay. You can also contact me here. This is my my email address. The website, Sureshine Service Network, is the place to find people. And then you can contact me at ted@sureshineservicenetwork.com. I look forward to talking to you again soon. If there's any other questions, like I said, post them in the comments or send an email. And like I said, buy this kit, buy the products in this kit separately. You will not regret it.